So, what is role-playing? Well, the first thing you may think of is maybe a video game like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or something like that. And those games do have elements of role-playing. You are playing a different character. You're not playing yourself, you're playing like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII or Cecil from Final Fantasy IV or Jared from Dragon Quest VII. Now, that's okay. That's cool. That is a role-playing game. And, that's a great place to start if you're getting into role-playing. But, there's other avenues too. Mainly what I think is going to be a lot on this channel are things like Dungeons & Dragons and other tabletop role-playing games. Now, the thing about Dungeons & Dragons is remember, it's not a video game. Your characters are never on a set path. Now, what do I mean by a path? I mean, when you play Dungeons & Dragons, you are playing a character. You are playing a character that you choose to create within this fantasy world or fantasy realm. Which is cool. Which is really cool. To create your own character and implant yourself within this character, within this world. It's a really fun, really cool thing to do. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean you have to act like yourself? You can. But at the same time, you don't have to act like yourself. You can act however you want. Do you want a boastful bard? Do you want a stoic samurai? Go ahead and do it. That's the fun of the game. And not just Dungeons & Dragons. There's GURPS. There's Shadowrun. There's Cyberpunk 2020. When people think of role-playing games like tabletop, they seem sometimes to only think of Dungeons & Dragons. And there's tons of games out there. Mazes and Minotaurs is a completely free one that you can download from their site. Everything is completely free, and it'll give you all the PDFs you need to start playing. And what's in those PDFs is a small explanation of what is role-playing. Now, what exactly is role-playing? Like I've said, it's when you it's basically when you act out a persona within a game. And I say that's cool. Why is that cool? Well, think about it. Think about Final Fantasy. You're kind of stuck in the story. You're kind of stuck doing whatever the authors want you to do. In Final Fantasy VIII, you have to go to the Lunatic Pandora. What if you don't want to go to the Lunatic Pandora? Well, if you want to advance the story, you have to. In a role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons or Mazes and Minotaurs, you don't have to do anything, really. If you don't want to go to the Tomb of Horrors, you don't have to. If you want to spend your entire game session just sitting in a bar drinking, telling stories, hearing gossip, maybe you're a bard and you want to play some songs and make some gold, so you can buy more ale, you can buy more booze, you can drink more and talk more. That's fine. Something that you have to remember about role-playing games is that the power is in your hands. You have the freedom. And that is something that I think is kind of forgotten in role-playing games nowadays, and it's awesome. Trust me, it's awesome. It is so damn cool when you are the writer of your own story. In Final Fantasy X, The lead character Titus always said, "This is my story, and I'll end it and write it how I want to." Well, he was stuck to a script written by the Final Fantasy team. You have no script. You make the script. You steer your ship wherever you want to. And that is awesome. There are a few other things you should think about in the context of role playing. And one of them is like, sometimes people forget things like you have to bathe. In a role-playing game, you don't have to do these kind of things, but it really adds to the concept of realism and the role-playing feeling when you go to a tavern or something and you say, well, um, instead of just I want to sleep for the night, you can say I want a hot meal and a bath. Little things like that will really add to the experience and are really, really cool parts of role playing. Little things like you knock on a door, you know? Little things like that are great and they're so cool. And if you're playing in a game with a DM, he will be so happy. He will be so happy to see you doing things like that. And sometimes DMs will reward you on things like that. Sometimes if you do enough things like haggling or hygienic routines, sometimes a DM will give you experience points. You want experience points, right? Well, unless you're playing a game like GURPS, which is a system that has no experience points. But let's stay in the context of D&D for now. There's an endless amount of role-playing possibilities. Like I said, bathing, knocking on doors, remembering to eat, remembering to sleep. There's been so many times where I've had a party wake up in the middle of the night because they're camping and a wolf comes by or something. They go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night, they're woken up at 10:30, and they never go to sleep again. If you have a good DM, things like that will not get past them. And you may not sleep all night, so the DM might start giving you penalties. In the same way, the DM might start rewarding you for remembering to do things like sleep. He might give you bonuses to stats. Well, I guess this video just kind of stops here, but I just wanted to do a little explanation of role-playing, what a role-playing game is, and I just wanted to jumpstart people's minds, see if you can get into it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and good luck.